Pitocin, it's gonna start those contractions off on 1,000. Look how humongous I am, y'all. Look at that. Let that baby come on their own. Or, oh, you want a cookie because you chose pain? Like, no, I don't want a cookie for that. Like, it's just my choice.
These days you can't even trust who you fucking. These days niggas wanna hurt you for nothing. These days I don't even care for a title. These days you just getting fucked and recycled.
Hey y'all, I was just sitting here doing my hair and I was like, I could make a little video because I haven't made a little video in a minute. I'm just putting my hair up in a little sleek bun because I'm like days away from going into labor. And I just want something easy. I don't want to have to be worried about my hair whenever it happens. So I opted for just something easy and to keep my hair like off my neck, out the way while I'm in labor. A bun is what we're gonna do, just a sleek bun. Cause child, when I had my first son, I made the mistake of thinking that I was gonna be able to like do a silk press. So I went into labor with a silk press with a scarf on, and by the time he was in my arms, I don't even know, the scarf was like on the side of the bed tucked away. My hair was a fro and it was just a horrible idea. I don't know why I thought that that was gonna work. I don't know. So yeah, this is what we're doing this time around. I'm still like a little bit over a week out from my due date, but I just, you know, I'm trying to be proactive here. Okay, that's not going again. I don't know why I thought it would. Not somebody loud truck out there. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, it was a horrible idea for me to go into labor with a silk press and think that it was gonna last. So I said this time around, I'm gonna do something to where my hair is completely out the way and off my neck, because I be sweating, and when you contracting and them contractions is contracting, child, you don't be wanting nothing to touch you. You don't even be wanting the nurses to touch you. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do. And this ain't high enough. I want it to be higher. Up higher than this, like really, really out the way. But I was thinking like, okay, this would be a good little time to talk about my labor and delivery with my oldest son, because that was a little experience. So I had him December 8th of 2018, and he was 10 days early. And my last doctor's appointment, you know, when you start going weekly, I had went that Wednesday to the doctor, and I was like 1 centimeter dilated. So she was like, you're probably not gonna have him this week at all. Like, he's probably gonna come closer to his due date, which was December 18th. And you know, I was like, all right, whatever. But my mom, I was living in Wisconsin, and I need to shave my underarms. Sorry, don't look at my underarms. So I was my mom was I was in Wisconsin, my mom was in Arizona, and so she was coming up there. She flew up there on the 7th, and my doctor was like, yeah, I know your mom's coming, but you know, you're probably not gonna go into labor. This your first kid. Like, you usually don't have him or have them like that early, especially if you're not like dilated for real. And I was only like 1 centimeter, like I said. So this is about to make me mad. So I was like, okay, whatever, you know, it's probably not gonna happen this weekend. So anyway, my mom flies up there Friday morning, the 7th, and we go and we buy some castor oil because I was like really tired. I was in pain, like back hurting and all of that. And so my mama like, girl, we finna make this baby come. You ready? He ready. So I'm like, okay. So we like go to the grocery store, we walking around, we go to Target, we get back to my house, we make some guacamole. My mama poured up a glass of wine. We just having a good old time. We talking, just talking. Y'all, why my water break while we sitting here just having a good old grand old time? Mind you, I didn't even take the castor oil. So I'm like, dang, my water just broke. Like I'm like, it kind of feel like I just peed on myself a little bit, but I don't really think I did. My mama like, smell it. I'm like, smell it? I'm not smelling it. Like, what the heck? So I go to the bathroom, you know, and I'm like, yeah, this definitely, like, I didn't pee on myself. So I called the nurse. They asking me questions, and I'm like answering the questions, and the nurse like, yeah, go ahead and come in. It sounds like you're going into labor. And I'm like, what? This early though? Like, how? So I go to get in the shower because like I was at work all day. And you know, I'm about to go up in here and had to bust it open. I'm finna get in the shower. My mama like, why would you get in the shower? And you about to, you know, we don't know if that's your water or not. I'm like, girl, why wouldn't I get in the shower? Like, what? Why wouldn't I? So, get in the shower. We head to the hospital. And we get there and the lady like, yeah, I don't even really think I need to test that fluid because I'm like positive that that's amniotic fluid. And I'm like, this is crazy because this is really gonna happen right now. So they admit me. Mind you, it's the 7th. It's like 10 o'clock at night on the 7th. So they admit me. They like, yeah, you're gonna be here for the night for sure. So I'm like, oh, and I had a natural birth. I did not get an epidural just because it was a personal preference. Like, I had done my research. I had talked to a few people who got epidurals, and just based off their experiences plus what I had learned from doing research on my own, I just decided it wasn't something that I wanted to do. So, you know, the first nurse is like, well, what are you gonna do for pain management? And I'm like, well, what do you have besides an epidural, because I'm not getting that. And she like, well, I mean, it's like, you know, something you can get through your IV, but it ain't like much. It's really just gonna like take the edge off. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, like if it come down to it, that's just what I'm gonna have to do. But I know for sure I don't want the epidural. So she like, y'all, she was like an ambassador for epidural. Like, she kept asking me. She asked me like 3 more times after that, like, what are you gonna do, you know, because it's only gonna get worse from here. And I'm like, why would you say that to me? Mind you, I wasn't even contracting like strongly. Like, it felt like Braxton Hicks. So I'm like, girl, if this finna be a breeze anyways. Like, I don't even need nothing. Child, I ended up having to get Pitocin because they tried to let me labor all night and the contractions just like were not getting stronger. So at like, I don't know, it was probably like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. They came in there and they was like, yeah, we're gonna have to give you Pitocin to get this labor going because nothing's happening. So I'm like, oh my goodness, okay. And so they give me the Pitocin, contractions kick in like crazy. And that Pitocin, if you don't know, it starts your contractions off on like 100,000. Like, natural labor, you would just kind of work your way up. The contractions would just get stronger and stronger, like as you go through labor and as you dilate. Pitocin, it's gonna start those contractions off on 1,000. So that was that. Like, once they gave me that Pitocin, and it was like, soon as it went through my vein, it was like showtime. It hurt so bad. I was like, get this out of me. I don't want this anymore. Turn it off. But obviously they can't do that. So I'm like dying. That was like, that lasted for hours and hours. And then I ended up getting like the last nurse right before it was time for me to deliver. She specialized in natural birth. She was the best thing that could have happened to me. Like, God literally sent her to me. because she turned the Pitocin off because my body had started to contract on its own. And mind you, they had came in there, the other two nurses had came in there and turned it up twice. Like, they're still not strong enough, you're still not dilating. So she came in there, and it was like early afternoon, probably like 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, on the 8th. And she was like, you know, we're gonna turn this off because like your body is contracting now on its own, so we don't even need the Pitocin anymore. So she turns it off, and then, you know, shortly after that, it's time to start pushing, and I had them. But what's crazy is that we had bought this castor oil, and I was telling my mom the night before, I'm like, I don't want to do nothing to make him come on the 8th, because December 8th, 2016 is when my dad passed away. So I'm like, if he's gonna be born on December 8th, like, I want that to just happen on its own, like, naturally, because that's crazy. Y'all, I had that boy December 8th, 2018. And my due date was really December 18th, 2018. But I ended up having him on the day that my father passed, 2 years later. So that's always really like special to me, because I was so sad when my dad passed away. I was so sad. And I used to always pray like that God would like take the sadness away, because it was just so heavy. It was so heavy to deal with. And he ended up giving me my son, my first son, on that day. So like now it's hard to even be sad about it. Of course I still acknowledge it. I can't go through that day without thinking about my dad, but it's like life on that day that was marked with death, you know. So that's the labor story of my oldest son. This baby, I'm definitely gonna let him come on his own. I'm gonna let him come when he's ready to. I'm not gonna rush him or do none of that, but this is where we at. I'm just gonna touch this little bun up each day until it's time to go into labor. That's it. Until it's time to go into labor. Look how humongous I am, y'all. Look at that. He's just waiting for the perfect time. And when he ready, I'm gonna be ready. My doctor did ask me about getting induced, but I don't want to get induced. And I like, what is it with like everybody wanting to get induced these days before they due date? Like, people not even waiting until they 40 weeks to get induced, which is kind of crazy to me. Cause like, what's the point of like it being a 40-week pregnancy if you just gonna go in there and tell him to induce you at 37 or 38 weeks? I just feel like everybody in a rush to do stuff these days. And like, no, for real. Everybody in such a rush these days to get to like a certain place in life or to get stuff at a certain time, that we just rushing stuff that shouldn't even be rushed. Because why are you rushing your pregnancy? Like, when you get to 37, 38 weeks, if there's no health complications, no risks or concerns, why wouldn't you just let your baby come when the baby is ready to come? Like, they've been coming when they've been ready to come since the beginning of having babies. So I don't understand. I don't know. I think that it's like society, and just this our generation, we like in a rush for everything. Like, for real, we in a rush for everything. And I know a lot of women are in a rush to like get back to their old selves, or get back to like feeling like their old selves. And the reality of it is, like, you're never gonna be the woman that you were before you had that baby. I don't care if it's the first baby or the 5th baby. Like, something about you has to change. Like, you know, the vision of you and the mom and the woman that you are after that child, it demands some development. So you're gonna change. Like, you're gonna be a different version of you. So I don't really feel like we should be in no rush to like snap back or none of that. Like, just let it happen. And motherhood requires a different version of you. Like, I was just telling one of my friends this, like, to want to get back to yourself, or like want to look like yourself, or just get back to your old, it's like, I understand wholeheartedly, because you be tired, you be out of breath, you be uncomfortable. But some people just, it's out of vanity, and I feel like that's selfish. That's very selfish, and it's very ironic and contradictory, because being a mother is like the epitome of selflessness. Like, it's really not about you 100% anymore. After you have a baby, like, don't lose yourself and just your identity is just a mom after that. But you do have to become a different person. Like, you're not the same. So don't be in such a rush, you know. And if you're watching this and you like rushing that baby, let that baby come on their own. When they ready to come, they gonna come. So this is my little bun, y'all. This is just something quick and easy. I'm gonna just tie it down, and I'm gonna keep it tied down. I'm gonna take my scarf off every day until we go into labor. And this bun might come down, child, while I'm in labor. I don't know. The plan is to have this baby naturally as well, with no epidural. And you know, you could do anything you put your mind to. And if you question anything that you were created to do in this life, know for sure, as a woman, you were created to be able to have a baby. Okay? With the exception of those who like physically can't have one due to like health concerns and stuff like that. But like, as a woman, this is what we were created to do. It's one of our roles. So you can do it without an epidural if that's what you choose to do. If you choose to get an epidural, that's your choice. But if you choose not to, don't let anybody make you feel guilty. Or like, what I be hearing is people like, oh, she want a cookie because she having a natural birth. Oh, she want a cookie because she decided to not get an epidural. Like, no, it's just your choice. So don't let nobody make you feel like you wrong for not getting an epidural. Or, oh, you want a cookie because you chose pain. Like, no, I don't want a cookie for that. Like, it's just my choice. That's it. Just like your choice was to get an epidural. It's okay. Everything don't have to be a competition. It's okay. So yeah, I'll check back in with y'all maybe after I have him. Maybe before. I don't know. We'll see. But this is just my quick little labor get ready with me. Like, almost get ready with me for labor. So yeah, easy little bun out the way, not too much. Something off my neck. I could be quick on a draw. I could lay back comfortably. I could lay on this side, lay on that side. You know, we're gonna get it done. Pray for me, y'all.
All these rumors in the streets, I don't need it. All this anxiety, I don't need it. Bad energy,